Who does not remember afternoons and afternoons spent in leveling up in the endless and mysterious map of Final Fantasy VII? I am sure we all waited the day to play again this gem in new generation console. The question is, how the open world will be reproduced in Final Fantasy VII Remake. For who played Final Fantasy XV, you might have realized that the open world map was quite nice and well constructed, and it was almost all explorable right away. So it might be the case that the producers will adopt the Final Fantasy XV structure in order to adapt the world of Final Fantasy VII to the new generation console. However, in the original Final Fantasy VII, only toward the end of the game we could eventually start exploring the map with specific vehicles. So it might be the case that the open world map will be gradually explorable like it was in the old PlayStation 1 version. The second part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project aims to amaze fans, in a subversive way, continuing the trend of the title released last April. This was stated by producer Yoshinori Kitase, who together with co-director Naoki Hamaguchi gave an interview during the CEDEC plus Kyushu Online 2020 event held this week. In making Final Fantasy VII Remake, explained Hamaguchi, we decided to set the entire game in Midgar and we created a realistic world within the city. For example, in the original game it was not possible to have a precise idea of how to look towards the platform from the point of view of the slums, while we were able to put this thing in the remake. In Part 2 we want to keep this kind of detail and allow players to experience the rest of the game world the same way they experienced Midgar. Those who have played the original game, he said, probably know what happens in the story and are curious to know what will happen now in the remake. The fact that you know what happens at the story level gives us the opportunity to offer you something that you expect but that makes you think, so this is what really happened. At the same time we want to show something that not only surprises, but that goes beyond expectations. The producer added that, those who have played Part 1 already have an idea of the type of game we are playing. We want to create a game that meets their expectations but disorients them, in a positive way, of course. Square Enix in December registered 2 trademarks that sound familiar in Japan. The first is Ever Crisis and the second The First Soldier. Drop a subscribe to my channel and I will keep you updated for more news about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Thanks and see you in the next episode.